I want to start by reading from Matthew chapter 26, verses 17 through 19. Now on the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Where will you have us prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.'" And the disciples did as Jesus directed them, and they prepared the Passover. The Jewish calendar was filled with religious celebrations. Many were feasts to commemorate something that God had done in the life of Israel. Looking at those three verses, you can see the dominant word there is Passover. Passover is the oldest and most important religious festival in Judaism and marks the beginning of the Jewish religious year. Just so you know, it began last night at sundown. It was associated closely with the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Both of these feasts commemorated the deliverance of the Israelites from Egyptian bondage some 3,500 years ago, but still celebrated today. Understand the Israelites were on the cusp of their escape, and in order to leave in a hurry, they were ordered to eat unleavened bread, and that's the other part of the Passover meal. Bread without yeast. The Passover has its foundation in the escape from Egypt, and you probably remember or maybe have heard bits of the story. Israel was enslaved to the harsh hand of the Egyptians, so they called out to God, and God heard them and sent Moses to deliver them. Moses appeared before Pharaoh, and he declared, "The Lord says, let my people go." Pharaoh cried out, "Who is the Lord, that I should regard him and let his people go?" So God started sending plagues against the Egyptians. Each time, Pharaoh refused to release the Israelites. Then God would send a plague. It began with turning the Nile to blood, and then frogs, gnats, and flies, the killing of some livestock, boils and hail and locusts and darkness. And then the last one, where God says, "I'm going to send a plague so severe that they have no choice but to let you go. I'm going to kill every firstborn in Egypt, children, animals, the whole lot. But here's what I want you to do to his people. I want you to take a lamb, and with the blood of that lamb, that perfect lamb without defect, I want you to kill that lamb and take some of the blood and wipe it on the door frames of your homes, so that when I pass through Egypt, I will see the blood and pass over you." Pass over you. The Apostle Peter wrote, "For you know that it was not with perishable things, such as silver or gold, that you were redeemed, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect." Today is Passover, and thank God for his blood. That's my time. Thanks for your time. Until next time.